All right, we're going to get started in a few moments. Good afternoon, everyone. It's 12 o'clock on the hour, Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. in the West Coast. We appreciate any of those who chime in from the West Coast, who's joining us bright and early. We hope everyone is staying safe and free of harm's way with COVID-19 still going heavy in our country. But today, we have a little treat for you, if you can already see. We'll take questions on the side of the chat, so if you have questions, feel free to chime in. We're going to give folks a few minutes to kind of get themselves together to join our call here. So hold tight, folks. Feel free to get your questions lined up in the chat box, and we'll try to get to as many as possible with the given time that we have today. Making sure my volume is all the way up so I can hear clear. Good afternoon, Andrea Moore. I see you've joined us and already had a question in advance. Thank you for sending that. We're also live on Facebook. So if you want to tune back in and watch this later on as well, if you can only stay for part of it, feel free to catch on the Facebook Live. That's on the GMS Facebook page. And I believe we have a few other digital activities forthcoming. Sunday, April 12th at 2 o'clock, there's GMS Sunday Coffee. So make sure you tune into that. I think the information has gone out about that as well. And on Monday is another GMS webinar on financial literacy with some great speakers that you should learn a lot from. So make sure to keep tuning in on these digital events. As for right now, we won't have any in-person events due to the COVID-19. So this is what we'll work with for now, so to give everyone an opportunity to interact with us, especially those who have submitted to present at specific events. We will be inviting folks to take place in digital engagement opportunities. So looking at the time, we'll give about 2 more minutes and then we'll start jumping right into our questions. And I will give us back a little bit of background music until then. Hopefully it's not too loud. And I see Tina's with us. I'm sure she's going to have plenty of questions, as she normally does. Looking forward to those, Tina. All right, it is 5 after 12. We want to stay on our schedule. We're going to jump right in. For those who are joining us, hello, Ryan. I'm always good for a plug. Welcome to our virtual meet and greet with one of our newest team members and GMS family members. Before we jump into his intro, for those who are watching this for the first time and may have not seen me before, my name is Kelvin Harris. I am the Director for Leadership Development and Alumni Relations for the Gates Millennium Scholarship Program. I've been with the organization for 8.5 years, so quickly approaching 9 years, and have seen this program as well as the alumni program soar to reach some great accomplishments, and looking forward to many more that are to come, especially with our alumni community. I also have the privilege and honor of working with great team members at GMS. One, Aaron Stallworth, who many of you have known, who is probably tuned in with you all watching this, and then Justin, our newest team member here. The three of us, in addition to our fabulous colleague, Star Mayo, round up the entire leadership development team for right now. So you're in for a treat. We'll get started. Justin, let's go ahead and give a quick intro to yourself, who you are, where you come from, a little bit about your background.
Awesome. So good afternoon to some, good morning to others. So like Kelvin said, my name is Justin Bailey, and I count it a privilege to be able to work with you all in this capacity. My background has formerly been in higher ed and workforce development. So for me, I look at myself as always being a connector, understanding student needs, understanding what it is that you're trying to achieve, and being that bridge between the two. I've worked with scholarship students in many different capacities, whether they be at the community college level or the 4-year institution, bridging those pathways, whether it be going from the 2-year to a 4-year institution, or whether it be moving from the 4-year to grad school. So like I said, I count it a privilege to be able to work with you all as a connector and getting you those things and ideas that you so look forward to. So thank you for having me this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are. All
right, Jess, I'm gonna throw you for a loop on this question. Tell us about you're in week 3 or 4 right now.
This is a month. This makes a month.
Oh, it makes a month. That flew by very quickly. Tell us about your first few days on the job. What was that experience like, and what were your first impressions?
So I've started UNCF March the 9th. I was in the office for about an hour, I should say. I went home and then packed my belongings and took a flight to LA the same day. So the first day I started, I took a 4 or 5 hour flight to Los Angeles. Definitely the most interesting start to employment, I should say. I never took a trip on the first day, but definitely a great experience. We got to meet some scholars and shoot a little video for some upcoming projects. So definitely a great experience. I have not been in the office for a full 8 hours yet, and it's been a month. So I don't know if that's lucky me or not lucky me, but that's my experience. But it's been fun. It's been fun.
Absolutely. I appreciate you for being so flexible. I can't say never have I had someone hired and hop right on the plane. I think you're number 2. And it seems like those who have that experience have great experiences with us, because that person still works with UNCF and GMS. So
well, I'm looking forward to it.
Glad to have you. Looking forward to getting to work closely with you. Getting back to the office at some point, it would be a bright spot, because we'll get to work closer together, hand in hand, on a lot of these projects. But for now, virtually works great. And I know where you live. You're not too far away, so we have to connect.
Not at all.
All right, so we're going to jump into the next question. So understanding a little bit about the Gates Millennium Scholars community and what you've learned so far through your interview process, the brief work we did in LA about a month ago. What do you look forward to working? What do you look forward most to working with the Gates Millennium Scholars?
Wow. So what don't I look forward to? I look forward to, like I said, the connections. I look forward to the interaction. I look forward to meeting all of you, hopefully where you are and not virtually as time progresses. But just making sure that I can get you those things that you're looking for, no matter whether it be some personal development. It may be financial literacy. It may be scholars in Atlanta need such and such, or there's certain grad schools that scholars are looking for, and they like to attend an interest meeting of some sort. So that's mostly, what I'm looking forward to, is having you all continue on your paths of success, and being more successful than a lot of you already are. So that's my main goal. And then to hear your stories, to understand where you come from, to understand where you're trying to go, so that we can build a camaraderie that'll last for ages. Definitely.
Absolutely. And speaking of stories, and I'm sure you have this experience when you interview with Larry in your second or third interview. A lot of our GATE scholars, if not all of them, have unique stories that make them who they are. And it contributes to, what they aim to achieve. And many of us who are hired and blessed enough to work with the Gates Millennium Scholars Program have similar stories that sometimes are very identical to the stories of the students we serve. So tell us a little bit about your story, any challenges you had to overcome in your educational journey to help you get to where you are today. And what are some key things that helped you along the way, that helped you stay motivated and grounded?
Good question. So, I'll just be very blunt. I wasn't going to go to college. I was working full time, selling lawnmower equipment and fitness equipment. I was making a lot of money on commission, and I was fine. It was the summertime. I had graduated and life was good. But somewhere around July, I said, I don't want to do this forever. I saw the same individuals in the same spot 6 years in. They were doing the same thing. So I didn't decide to do any college paperwork until about the end of July. I didn't go to the college fairs when I was in high school. I didn't meet with my guidance counselor. I don't even remember my guidance counselor's name. So somehow something clicked in July. I ended up figuring things out, and I started in the fall. And it ended up being one of the best decisions. Once I got in, I got involved. I got in SGA, got into Greek life, and it all evolved from there. And ever since I've graduated, I stayed in higher education. It's truly been a passion of mine. And like I said, if something never clicked back in July of 2007, I wouldn't be virtually talking with you all today. So that was my story.
Wow. Well, I'm glad things clicked back then.
Definitely.
And I'm glad to know that you have some lawnmower experience.
Yeah, I do.
Good tips from you how to keep this grass green outside.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely. So it seems like, things clicked in 2007. It propelled you into higher education. A lot of our students are in higher education as a profession. I was in higher ed for a number of years before jumping over to GMSP. Tell us a little bit about some of the places you worked at and what some of the roles you had before you got to us.
Awesome. So I graduated from my alma mater, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and I went directly into admissions. So travel in your office maybe for about not even a week per month on the road, speaking with high school students, of course, engaging them and trying to get them into the institution. Definitely a great experience to be in different school systems all across the country, different venues, different conferences and whatnot. And then I took my talents to the 2-year level. The community college level was a little different. Definitely a larger population, whether it be in person or virtual, than the 4-year that I was at. A lot of different populations, a lot of different scholarship opportunities, a lot of students looking to go. Majority where we are, they wanted to go from the 2-year level to University of Maryland College Park. So facilitating those transfers, keeping those scholarship students abreast on everything that they needed to know, managing student ambassadors. So that experience is definitely dear to my heart because I dealt with a lot of the population that we're dealing with UNCF and you all and the scholars who are attending this broadcast. So definitely a humbling experience. And now I kind of actually left higher ed for a little bit and I went into workforce development. A little bit different ball game, different population altogether, but a definitely satisfying experience being a connector with externship, experiential opportunities, and job placement for those individuals who needed the most, whether it was building maintenance and construction or whether it was healthcare. So getting these large scale contracting construction companies to come along board, as well as some of the leading hospitals in the DC greater region. So those are three of my previous experience pretty much before I got to UNCF. And it's definitely been a very satisfying journey. And I'm glad it's gotten me to the point where I am today. So
awesome. Sounds good. Tell folks who are joining us live and via Zoom, we are all learning about Justin together. So like I said, he joined us about a month ago, and we haven't spent much face-to-face time together outside of being in Los Angeles. So you're joining a conversation that's pretty authentic that would happen in the office around the lunch counter. And so pleasure to have you all. If you have questions, feel free to drop some of your questions in the chat. I see our GMSA president, Munmun Khan, has joined us. Hello, Munmun. Thank you for your service and commitment to GMS. And once we can get out and about, we'll be making a trip to come see you in Atlanta. Yes. So a few more questions we have here. Who inspires you and why? Like, what are some of the main people in your life, whether it's a family member or a fictional character? You know, who or what inspires you and why?
So I'll do a fictional character, and I'll do pretty much myself. So honestly, what inspires me, Kelvin, is all the individuals I have impact on, had impact on my journey here. Whether it be a high school student or the city who just doesn't know what they want to do, doesn't see success within their lives, 16, 17 years old. And then 4 years later, we walk across the stage for the first commitment, where maybe a young mother in DC who's trying to become a medical assistant and that doesn't really understand what they do, not allowing me to work on their behalf, get the job that they always want, be successful with themselves and family. So that is my true inspiration. Those people who I come in contact with who appreciate the work that's trying to be done, allow me to work on their behalf. Fictionally, my inspiration is probably my favorite Marvel character, which is Thor. Every time we're doing this guy, every time we're doing this stage, something big is about to happen. And that's how I try to look at myself and what I do and how I value my work. When time to go on, it's time to shine, but it's been full forward and everything. So Thor, favorite Marvel character. We can argue.
So it sounds like it got a little choppy. For some, I saw a couple of those connections. How does it sound now? Am I choppy to folks?
Maybe with me. Can you hear me, guys?
Still a little choppy. Okay, somebody says a lot better. It might be connections fluctuating. It didn't seem like everyone had the issue, but it definitely brings some unique qualities to the table. And, we're looking forward to sharing all those unique qualities and things that motivate you with us.
I don't. You don't hear me now?
Nope.
Is that a little better?
Let me see. Let me try this one here. I'm working off of 2.
Okay. So me. I'm not sure why I'm choppy.
Is it you?
Can you hear me clearly?
No, I can't. Nope.
And what about now?
Nope. It's only you. Yeah, somebody says only you. That's choppy.
Let me try to rejoin.
Okay. Well, we'll work out those details. He'll jump back on, but I encourage you all who are watching, send your questions in the chat. I'm seeing your messages, and thank you for sharing. I see you. We got some new folks in, and Justin's back.
All right. What about now?
Oh, it sounds awesome.
Perfect.
It's a lot of folks using the internet around here, so we're competing for bandwidth.
I understand. Okay. So let me backtrack. What did I leave off with you all? If you could type it. What's the last thing you heard me say clearly?
It was probably the beginning of your response to the comment about who or what motivates you or inspires you.
All right, so I'll say that really quickly. So like I was saying, who motivates me, who inspires me are those who I come across on my path, those who I meet with, those who I can provide a better opportunity, those who didn't think they could be what they are now. And that's being very successful and striving towards greatness. And that's realistically. Fictionally, who inspires me is my favorite Marvel character, who is Thor. Every time Thor cracks the sky, every time Thor lands somewhere, you know a big show is coming. So definitely a Thor. And for all my Marvel fans out there, we can definitely debate.
Nice. Thor, I wouldn't have guessed that. I
Thor.
just watched, I guess, the original Thor on Netflix last week.
Oh, really?
All right, so good. All right. Any other questions out there? So folks can hear you better. We got that. Very good.
I saw a question, but I can't see it now since I logged out and logged back in.
Let's see. Will Tate's a good guy. It's from San Diego if he's still out there. Oh, so Munmun's asked, what do you like to do in your downtime?
Awesome. So on my downtime, I am a photographer. So I have my own photography business. I like to get out there. I like to shoot. I have no preference. I will shoot pretty much anything from engagement party to real estate. I have a lot of different things. If some of you want, I can send you one of my pages that you can go look at. But that's what I do in my downtime. I take pictures.
I am an aspiring beginning photographer. I have a Canon 77D.
I'm a Nikon guy, so.
So we can compare. You can teach me some things.
A little bit.
Did know that. Wasn't known that.
Definitely. And I think Mumu asked another question. No, I do not have any children as of yet. So.
It's free to borrow mine too. They're making a bunch of noise in the background right now. I can drop them off to you anytime.
Drop them off. They got the whole basement.
There you go. Someone asked, what's your email? It is justin.bailey@gmsp or uncf.org. We'll get his information up on the site soon. Lots happening when we're not in the office. There was another question I saw somewhere. Someone said, still looking for a camera. I really like Canon, but I see a lot of photographers use Nikon. I think whatever, what do you suggest? What's your experience with Canon versus Nikon?
I'm a Nikon guy. I don't know why. I think I will say this: Nikon lenses are super expensive, as opposed to some Canon lenses. Yeah. So that is one of the main downfalls. But in this business, you can rent just about anything. So
that is true.
Have the ones that you need, your go-tos. You definitely need those. But for different events, different type of shoots, you can always rent.
What's your go-to lens?
24-70. It's a go-to. It does a lot of different things. And I also like a 50 prime. Definitely a good lens and clear lens. But those are pretty much my go-tos.
Okay. I had to show you some photos I took recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started out with my kids, and now I just take photos of some cherry blossoms, so different things.
So I just took that. The picture that I sent you, I just took it like 3 days ago.
It was very good. Yeah. Munmun says my kids are so cute. Yes, and I'm willing to send them to Atlanta to hang out with you anytime. All right, so we have some other questions. How do you plan to make an impact in your position, and what's your vision for GMS? Look at Tina questions.
Let's keep them coming. So my plan is to build a rapport with each and every one of you. I want to know you just as Calvin does. As soon as he sees a name, I'm sure he can put a face to the name. So that's the kind of rapport. That's the kind of level that I want to work with you all with. Understanding your needs. That's pretty much, it's going to be one of my biggest jobs, is making sure that we're fulfilling the needs that you need. Like I say, it could be you need some career coaching. It could be you need resume, cover letter assistance, financial literacy. It could be you need some just a mental wellness checkup, and making sure we can find those experts, or within the GMS world, I should say, or stepping outside to other experts. So that's definitely the impact that I want to have and the relationship that I want to build.
Very good. So I have a question here on Facebook from Christine Vo. Hello, Christine. Haven't seen you in a while, but hope you're well. Her question is, what movie title best describes you? That's an interesting question.
Wow. Let me think about that. Let me think about that, Christine. Please, just give me a few moments.
Christine with deep questions. We'll come back. Good question, Christine. I have a Facebook watch party going on my other. So we have some questions over here. Great question, Tina. Thanks for asking. Derek Anderson wants to know, have you encountered Gates scholars prior to joining our team?
I would probably say formally, no. Informally, I'm sure I have. I have known individuals who, as I was a recruiter, who said, I'm applying for the Gates Scholarship and things of that nature. So I never got a chance to follow up to see if they actually received it. But in that case, those are the only instances.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. It was, there was a teacher at my kid's school. And one day we were talking. He's like, "Oh yeah, I have the Gates Scholarship." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" From the inaugural class. So they're everywhere. I was in Disney World and run into Gates Scholars. Everywhere. Went on vacation to Hawaii and had dinner with Van Law and a few Gates Scholars. So I'm sure you've encountered many of them.
I'm sure I have.
Question, Derek. Thanks for asking that question. Ryan Lee asked, what is the first thing you look forward to after we get out of quarantine?
Probably, I would say getting back in the office, getting to meet some other colleagues face to face, and then building the connections and networks that I need to thoroughly serve you all. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Very good. Yes, for many, I talked to my father last night. He's off of work for the next 5 days, and he doesn't know what he's going to do with himself. I'm like, welcome to my last 3 weeks outside of work.
There you go.
You end up working off your computer. All right. Who are you?
Oh, Will Tate's got some good questions.
Oh, Will Tate, you're deep, brother.
Got some good questions. Let's
where are we
up to the first one?
We still got Christina's question, movie title.
I'm still thinking. I don't know. Wow. I'm still thinking.
Oh, Michelle King on Facebook. Hey, Michelle. So Michelle wants to know, what do you look forward to most in your new role?
I look forward to, I keep going back to that connected word. I look forward to being a bridge for you all. I look forward to being in your corner, whether it be something that you're looking to get into personally, rather it be establish a 501c3, open a business, or you're looking for just another avenue into grad school, just whatever I can be, that's what I want to be to further your success.
Very good. And there's a lot of work that'll be on Justin's plate, from reinvigorating the mentoring program that we had before to be more of a connection and circles program for folks that just connect with scholars. Once we get back with our scheduled events such as NCORE and APHA and ALA, Institute for Teaching and Mentoring, Justin will be leading those events as well. And these virtual events. So if you want to host a virtual event, definitely reach out to Justin. He put his email in the chat box.
I put it in there again.
We're open to it. If you want, if you've done something amazing and it's made news in your community, share with us and, connect with Justin, and we can set something up for you, doing something like this or highlighting you on our website. So like Justin, we're all here for you. Will Tate's got the deep questions. We have to send him an award for his extremely deep questions. Annie Harlan, I've noticed that different races were grouped together in the past. How do you envision bridging even amongst the Gates scholars across racial lines?
Awesome. Good question. Good question, Annie. So basically, in one of my previous roles, I was pretty much in charge of all scholarship students, and all of those scholarship students came from all different type of backgrounds. And I find it most interesting when you bring students together with like-minded goals, like-minded ideals, like-minded plans to success. It makes my job a whole lot easier. Not even looking at the race lines, but we're looking at where you want to go as a collective, where we want to go as an individual, and trying to see how we can best help each other. So bridging, so in that instance, being a bridge, coming together from all different races, understanding where we want to go as a group and individually, and how can we help each other. That's the role. That's the role.
Yeah. And one thing you'll quickly learn about the Gates community and family, I always like to use the word family, as they are really a family. They see each other as brothers and sisters, always willing to help each other, whether it's career advice or I'm hiring, can you post this job? Or I moved to this new city, I'm willing to connect. And it's probably, I won't say probably, it is probably the best group of students I've worked with in my career. And I've been around since 2011. So I've seen the last 6,000 students come through the program and probably met twice as many as that during my time. And that thing stands strong, very connected group, a group that takes care of their family, wants to take care of their friends, and everybody's climbing in support. So you'll definitely find that. And sometimes you might think you're a Gates scholar. So yeah, we have great questions coming in. Hello.
I want to address some of Will's questions.
Here we go. Go for it.
All right. So, what are some ways that you've impacted, invested in the community? Where you're from, related. How was the community you came from impacted or help you shape? So, I'm no longer living in the community where I'm from. So, with that said, I still try to give back. I still try to enlighten the youth every time I do go down there. Some friends of mine are actually looking to start a nonprofit in that area as it relates to college and career readiness, because honestly, the last data that I looked at, we're last in the county, or one of the counties at the bottom of the map as far as college and career readiness, and that's Wycomico County in the state of Maryland. So those are some things that I am looking at. Like I said, college and career readiness exposure when I was in high school was obsolete. It really wasn't there. Like I said, I don't remember my counselor's name. So those are some things that we have been looking at to basically drive home the impact of being college and career ready, and not just graduating college, going to work in a factory, or going to work at a retail establishment or something like that, and try to go from there. So thanks, Will, for that question. I saw another one that you had. What was it? Describe your top time where you connected someone to a resource that you were proud of. So I was pretty much in charge of business development for the workforce development organization that I work with. So others might eat. I was tasked with building pipelines with a lot of the largest hospitals and medical centers in the DC region, I should say. So one of my biggest ones was Children's Hospital. It was a partnership I worked very hard for. I got the contract signed. I sent my first young lady there. She was discouraged. She didn't know what she was getting herself into. She was training to be a medical assistant. Of course, I tell everybody, I never guarantee that you can get a job. That's the work that you did. That's the work that you put in, and that's how you allow me to work for you. Never guarantee, but it's always a high possibility. Long story short, she finished her externship with them. She came back in, she passed. She actually failed her certification the first time. Lo and behold, she didn't know that I was still working for her in the background. She didn't know that as soon as she passed the job, passed the certification, she was going to be hired. I didn't let her know any of that. So she came in, took the test a second time, very discouraged, but she passed. And literally that day, I announced to her and everybody that she was now officially given an offer letter as a full-time employee for Children's Hospital. Nice. So that was a great moment for me. And those are the inspirations that I always talk about, not knowing the power and the possibility that you have inside of you to build your own success. So thank you, Will, for that question. Definitely.
Yeah. We got, so these Gates scholars are very deep. So we got Kevin Trong. Kevin, I believe, if I remember correctly, is out of Portland. And he says, like the cherry blossoms that bloom in DC around this time, what are some new experiences that you hope to try out, whether professionally or personally, in order to blossom from your current self?
Wow, awesome. So I'll take it back. September, I did do skydiving for the first time. So now I want to bungee jump. I've never been on a cruise. Professionally, I want to host, or I want to be the direct contact for like a large conference or convening of some sort. That's a professional goal of mine. Other than that, I think the wheels are going to consistently turn. So that's what I have right now.
There you go. Very good. If you had joined us about 6-7 years ago, you might have been asking for something different, hosting those large conferences. There's a lot of sleepless nights doing that, but they were very,
I can imagine.
Very good and worthwhile. So I hope you're able to get that experience. And hopefully during your tenure with us, we can provide that. Always working up new and exciting things for GMS and or UNCF. So Phyllis had a question. Hello, Phyllis Elliott. Her question is, what is your advice for scholars interested in engaging in higher education efforts?
Good question, Phyllis. So my advice would be, you have to know your why. You have to know why you want to do it. You have to know what you want to get out of it. It's one thing to just say, I want to work in higher education, but you have to have a why, whether it is, to, like I said, be a bridge for those that you come in contact with, or establish a rapport to professionally move through the ranks and move upward. So that's what you have to do. First and foremost, you have to understand your why. And once you know your why, and once you know what you want to get out of it, then everything else will fall into place.
Nice. And let me see if hopefully I pronounce his name correctly. If I don't, forgive me. Jeray Grant says, who would be your first guest you'd host? So at your conference or convening, who would be the first guest that you would host?
I would probably say GMS scholars. All of you would be my guests.
Got a great selection. Hey, well, we can do a big virtual conference in the meantime.
That seems to be the only thing we can do right about now. So.
Yeah, it's definitely working on something like that. So hopefully we can make that come true. Yes, facts, Tina. Tina has gone to everything we've done, so she's seen it all.
Awesome.
Right, hello, Samuel. We see you here with us. Thanks for the question, Kevin. Hello, Deborah. Here I see Edgar Fidel has joined us. So we met Edgar in Los Angeles. He did one of the recordings. All right. So I'm gonna jump back into, since we are coming in our 20-minute timeline, back to one of the original questions I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to have jumped my screen. Here we go. So who or what did you want to be when you were growing up? If you wanted to be someone or something.
So I was one of those kids who I was very inquisitive. So I honestly didn't have anything, everybody was saying, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I just knew at that point. And of course, having the surroundings that I had, I just knew I wanted to grow up. I knew I wanted to graduate high school. And then after that, honestly, there was no vision for me. Being, I would say probably from middle school on, I just knew I just had to finish high school. That was the goal. And I never really started thinking about, what I wanted to do or where I wanted to be until I made that decision to go to college. And I didn't really figure out that higher ed was where I wanted to be until I got involved into student org, student activities, Greek life, and things of that nature. It just never clicked for me. I never had that general, I want to be this or I want to be that, which is kind of me. I'm not really, I plan, but I'm not like a planner. I'm a go with the flow type of guy. Whatever sparks my interest, and that's what I kind of flock to. So,
Nice. Very good. Very good. So I'm checking to make sure there's no questions here that I'm missing. Nope. Okay. You have a favorite quote or anything that you live by or that kind of guides you?
So I mean, I like a lot of quotes. I did kind of create my own quote this time last year, and it was just book the flight. And it's very you could mean it literally. I literally just booked the flight. You know, a lot of people say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to go this place, I'm going to go that place, but you never book the flight. You always talk about it, and it transposes into a lot of different things professionally. You know, if it's something that you always talk about, you know, whether it be starting a business or whether it be securing a mentor, whether it be you know, you want to get that promotion or get that new job. You know, it's one thing to talk about it, but sometimes you just got to do it. You got to click the button. You got to put your right foot in front of your left, and you just got to go for it. So I love that quote. Just book the flight.
All right. I just located some new questions for us. Whoa, Dr. Osa, it's been a long time. Glad to hear from you. She says, welcome, Justin. Dr. Osa is like one of the original OGs of the scholarship program. Probably one of if you had a top 10 of most respected Gates Millennium Scholars.
Wow, okay.
I put her up there. When she talks,
awesome.
I listen. So I'm going to read the question. She says, welcome. In the meantime, do you have any basic homework, web resources, or ideas to jumpstart a financial literate alumni while she self-isolates?
Awesome. So those are actually some things that I've been working on this week, and it's going into the Circles platform for the GMS alumni outreach. And that's one of my first main topics. And it's one thing, you know, financial literacy is so diverse. We could be talking about specifically saving money. We could be talking about raising your credit score, how to raise your credit score, why is it important to raise your credit score. I'm sure some of you know, but there are little things, odds and ends that we can definitely talk about. We could be talking about, and I get this question a lot, even within my networks, you know, between 401k, 403b, stocks and investments and things of that nature, and how to basically expand your financial portfolio to the point where you're not working up until you're 60, 65, 70 years old. I'm sure everybody I talk to doesn't want to work that long to 65 or 70 years old. You want to make your money now and then live off of your money and still be your traveling self, still be your going out, having fun self without having a financial burden. So those are some things that we're definitely going to put in the position to give you all. And it's, like I said, it's not just about saving money or credit, but it's also, like I said, expanding your financial portfolio to the point where everything that you work for across all of these years doesn't go in vain. So yes, we are working on these things.
And that is a great question, because on Monday, I'm trying to find it here, that is the next town hall discussion with the Alumni Association. And I know that they have a few scholars who are participating in that. And I'm trying to look on my phone as we Facebook Live at the same time. But check out Monday, and it's on the Gates Millennium Scholars Alumni Association's Facebook page. I know Darius Quarles is on there, formerly known as the $1 Million Scholar, who's also a CEO of Bro Capital, along with a few other Gates scholars. He's created that with Brian Williams and Jeremiah Hargins, who we just saw in Los Angeles. And there's a few other scholars who are participating in that conversation. So definitely, if you're looking for some financial literacy information, especially if you find yourself to be on the financial illiterate side, which all of us are to a degree, because we're still working and counting on our paychecks, I definitely encourage you to tune in on that Monday, April 13th. Check out the GMSAA page. I know Ryan's in the group, so he can probably post that in the chat while we're talking about it. But great question, Dr. Osa. Hope you're doing well. Will there be answers on grad school funding in this meeting? That was from Precious Blaylock. Not in this meeting, Precious, but we will I'll get someone from our GMS operations team to host something in the coming weeks. So I think that's a very critical topic, and I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm going to write that down myself. And then we are working to secure some graduate schools to join us via Facebook Live as well to talk about their various programs. So graduate funding, all right.
And also, guys, to go along with that, if there are certain majors that you're interested in, send them my way. You can drop them in the chat, or you can email me, so that way I can specifically address that need.
Yes. And just know this is recorded, so if anyone's just joined us and missed out on anything, you can view this recorded on Facebook Live as well. So another good question I see up here. Are there any books you're currently reading or have read in the past, and what would you recommend for gay scholars to check out?
So that's a very good question. I have not read much over this for a while. I've actually, well, for the quarantine, I definitely haven't read anything. I've just been doing my UNCF homework. And then previous to that, my job at my previous job in workforce development was so demanding. I honestly, guys, I couldn't tell you when the last time I sat down and read at least half a book. I did start a book a little while ago, Common Second book.
Mm-hmm.
So I did start that. I'm about a third of the way through. So that's the last book. So I want to be able to, matter of fact, thank you for asking me that. You just inspired me to read a little bit more. So when I do start reading a little bit more, I'll definitely have something for you. Definitely.
Very good. Yes, and I just got the link in for the Alumni Forum, Monday, April 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. It's moderated by alumni Sterling Johnson, who is from the class of 2007 and a program manager for partnerships for Southern Equity's Just Opportunity programming. And then speaker Darius Quarles, who's from the class of 2009 and an award-winning social entrepreneur. And Dave Potter, who's from the class of 2014 and CEO and co-founder of Kuru Startup that enables lenders to fund more loans by building applicant criteria, credit scores, and debt-to-income ratios. So that's a great forum to join if you're looking for that financial literacy information for those who were part of the last question that we asked. So great questions, folks. Definitely, especially with the books. I know as busy as we get in our professional lives, sometimes it gets a little challenging. I've tried to do the audio books while sitting in traffic, getting to GMS every day. And now that there's no traffic, I find myself working longer and doing a lot more yard work and chopping down that honeydew list.
There you go. There you go. I've done 2 closets.
Yeah, see?
My yard looks like a dirt patch right now, trying to grow some new grass.
There you go.
I would turn my camera on, show you all these boxes that I have, but new desks, new chairs.
Yeah.
So I'm busy.
Dr. Osa also asked, what's your sign, your horoscope sign?
I am a Virgo.
All right. I'm
a Virgo.
All right. So we're coming into the end of our questions. So those are from our Q&A that was up here. I think I got a lot of those answered. Did I miss anything here? So
if I could be a piece of fruit, what would I be? I'd probably be an orange, because I can literally grow year round in Florida.
Nice.
I'd be an orange.
Very good answer. And Ms. Jenkins, I'm interested in attaining a PhD. However, my funding stated I only had 2 years left, while my program at the time last year said I would need an additional 3 years to complete. All right. So yes, Ms. Jenkins, we could definitely connect offline. Send either Justin or myself an email. I'll put my email in here as well so that folks have that. We'll get your questions answered about funding. Oranges are the bomb, I agree. I love oranges and pineapples and bananas. But yeah, definitely like the orange. I don't think Justin has a
Okay.
PhD unless I missed something.
Will came through with another. Matter of fact, I saw this question earlier. So,
Oh yeah, who are you without your last
who
name?
am I without my last name? That's a deep question. He really wants an answer because he
Yeah.
typed it twice.
If Will's on the West Coast, he's up early, so he wants that answer.
Oh, okay, cool. So, who am I without my last name? I think well, without my last name, there's no family attached to me. So I'm just an individual. I'm an individual who's very caring and compassionate about what I do. I'm an individual who, loves to help others. I'm an individual who um, tries to find solutions when there are no solutions to be found. I'm an individual who is constantly asking questions. I'm that individual in a meeting who's, why are we doing this? What are we doing this for? And not just listening to, an answer. I want to understand the why. I'm always looking for the why. So that's me. That's me as an individual.
Very good. Very good. Good question, Will. Keeping them deep, I see. And so my last question to you, and many might find interest in this question. What are you currently watching on Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime?
Awesome. So I'm a movie rewatcher. I'll start there. So any movie that I have not seen in a while, I actually found a movie that I needed to finish and I hadn't watched it, and I don't even remember the name of it. It's called The Big something, and it's about the economic crash in 2008, where they bet against the stock. The Big Short. There it is. The Big Short. So I was so happy when I found that I could watch it again. And those are the type of things that I'm into. And, and like I said, asking about the why, they were so engaged on why this is happening, why are these numbers like this? And they found the reason. So The Big Short is something that I definitely watch. And I implore all of you to watch that. Of course, amid the economic, I won't call it a crisis as of now, but the economic state of the country. Go watch that, The Big Short. I am currently about 5 episodes away from completing Ozark season 3. So got to finish that up. And then, of course, there's a movie that some of you may not have watched. It's a great movie. It's called Outbreak. Very old, Dustin Hoffman. Go watch that on Netflix. Was The Big Short I found on. Oh, wow. It's not Crackle. I don't know where it's a streaming service right now that normally you would pay for. It's live TV. It's kind of like Sling, but I cannot remember the name of it. But I've seen All American. It's a great show. I got to finish that up as well. I'm a Chicago fan, so Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, all of that good stuff. SEAL Team for Life, great show. 50 Cent is a great producer. So that's what I've pretty much been watching.
All right. And on the spirit of 50 cents, MP McPherson wants to know top 5 musical artists, any genre.
Top 5 musical artists. I'm a Biggie fan of all time. Biggie is just my favorite of all time. Up to date, Kendrick is my favorite rapper. Shout out to the West Coast. It's just nobody. I get a lot of pushback from being on the East Coast, but Kendrick is my favorite rapper right now. I'm still waiting for the album this year. It's got to come. But I'm a Pusha T fan as well. I am a Pusha T fan. I love lyrics. Mm-hmm. I love lyrics that you have to replay to think about, that go over top of your head the first, second, or even third time you listen to it, and you got to dive deep into the lyrics. So what's that? That's 3. I need 2 more. Of course, I'm a Jay-Z fan. I love a lot of Jay-Z projects. And then last but not least, I know you guys are waiting for me to say like Lil Wayne or Tupac. I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that my top 5 and my top 10 goes in and out. You could be in it one day and you could not be. I will say this: I'm a 3 6 Mafia Project Pat fan. I don't know if he's in my top 5, but 36 Mafia Project Pat. So there you go.
Yeah, I forgot about 36 Mafia and Project Pat. All right, well, yes, that is wrapping up our questions. I want to thank you all for...
No, I'm sorry. No to Big Sean.
No.
To Big
Yep. So thank you all for tuning in with us on Zoom, on Facebook Live, and my own watch party that I hosted on Facebook. Hopefully I did all that correctly. Hopefully we'll have opportunities to introduce you to Justin in person in the upcoming future. But continue to chime in on these digital events. We'll do more of them, collaborating with our alumni. Do us a favor. If you're on Instagram, go to GMS Alumni. GMS Alumni on Instagram. And you can always be up to date on some of the latest forums. Also send friend requests to Gates Millennium Alumni Association's page to stay updated. They have a lot of things going on. And we will also host various conversations. I want to give a shout out to Tina Menzaqua for the idea of hosting some other Zooms about mental health. So I will say here, we'll look forward to hosting a happy hour where folks can just join one of us for an hour on Facebook Live and Zoom, just to talk about anything that will help you increase your mental, physical, social, emotional, financial, and spiritual well-being.
Definitely.
So we care about all your dimensions of wellness and want to make sure mentally that you're doing well. Stay safe during these trying times. Take care of each other. Don't always stay in the house. Go outside, take a walk, get some air. But until next time, thank you all for tuning in. We look forward to more of these conversations. If you have other topics you want to hear about, drop us an email or write it on my Facebook page. We want to engage with you, and we want to talk about things that you want to talk about.
And feel free to always shoot me an email pertaining to any topics, any grad schools you're looking at. If there's a type of business you're looking to pursue, anything that I can help and find the resources for you, that's what I want to do. And last but not least, go Vikings.
All right. So you heard it, folks. Welcome, Justin, to the GMS family. We look forward to more interactions. Thank you all for participating and enjoy the rest of your Friday and weekend. Take care, everyone.